Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, One Rental at a Time, back with the CEO of Hemlane. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Michael.
Thank you for episode 1, where we talked about rent declines or rent decreases. Episode number 2, what's going on with rent increases. And now we're going to talk about learning what's going on in your market, your buy box, your rentals. So I'm going to turn it over to you. You're going to show us the applications and other apps to help people understand what they can look for.
Great. So as far as what we offer, it's both leasing and property management. And leasing vacancy is where you have the biggest opportunity to help increase that bottom line, because you can reduce vacancy and make sure you get the best rental price. So we'll advertise your property, and your biggest question is, how do I know, here under the terms, how do I know how much to charge for monthly rent? That is going to be your number one question. And so we have a rent estimate tool here, which is data across the nation. You can type in any sort of property you want. You can type in the building type, apartment, house, how many bedrooms it is, bathrooms, and you can say, what is your current or expected rent? So you go in here, and let's just say I say 2,400, get estimate here. What it will end up doing is giving you that your rent is too high. Here's the average across what these estimates, and it will tell you here, this is kind of in light font, what it is for all of the listings in your area. So this is 32 listings within a 0.75 mile radius.
You might want to tell somebody to make that font a little darker.
A little bit bigger. Yeah. And the reason that we have that's a great point. The reason that we have this in here is because if your property is in the boondocks in the middle of nowhere, there might not have been a lot of rentals on market. And, you know, Michael, you and I talk about this a lot. Data is only as good as the data set is. Mm-hmm. So if you see that it's based on just one listing, then the question is, and that's over the past 3 months, then the question is, okay, should I actually be using this, or, just talking to the tenants, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So you need to know your market. You also need to know your tenants. Another thing that you can do is do exactly what a tenant does if you know where they list. So you could just go in here and say you can do Zillow, Zumper, any of the websites. Oh, I don't want to buy, sorry. Mm-hmm. And I can type in here the same thing, or I'll do 2448. Just put a property on here, unit for rent. I can say, sorry, 1 second. Let me just go like this. And I can go say bedrooms and bathrooms. So I can say 2 bedrooms, or maybe it's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And then I could put the price in here of what are the prices that I want. But if I zoom out here, I can go ahead and see what else is on market. These are 1 bedroom, 1 bath. This is super fast to do. But you can basically screenshot this as, Dion's binder strategy to say, here's everything else on market. So if my rental was at 2,000 and I'm raising it to 2,150, 2,200, I can just go in here and show exactly this. One of the most important things is that square footage, though, as well, because this is 3,000 square feet for 1 bedroom, 1 bath. And if yours is 1, this is huge. If yours is 1,000 square feet, you might not be able to make the argument that you could do 2.3. So just really quickly look at those numbers, and then obviously know your market, know where your property is. These are closer to the Muni line, maybe more attractive, et cetera, than one farther away. And you could just keep zooming out. All the apps do this. You can keep zooming out and then see what else is on market. If there's 3 bedrooms, that's not a good comparison. But if it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and yours is, you're going to want to take all of those into account. And then you can just go ahead and screenshot those. The other thing you could do, which I always like to do on any of these websites, is go down here as well. Look how many people have contacted. Because if it says days listed is 50 days and it has 0 contacts, that's a sign to me that like this is overpriced, because so maybe that's not a good comparison. So you can do that coupled with our estimate tool to see yours as well. And then the full report here, it's emailed, but it will go through and actually give you the comparable properties that we've pulled from the data set. So you can go ahead and look at those, and then you can do this as well. And you have a really good idea then, based on data, what is your market rate. We've had a lot of folks ask us with it, and then you'll have your listing here. we've had a lot of folks say, oh, well, what about if I look at what I'm charging right now, and then I look at inflation and I put that into the rental rate increase? It's like, no tenant cares about that. They're just going to look at what else is on market and what
Absolutely.
are the other opportunities out there. And then it's that discussion with the tenants. And, you want to incentivize longer term leases. So you might say, hey, if you're going to go month to month, I'm going to raise it to the amounts that are associated with other properties on the market. But if you do a 12-month lease, I might go slightly under market rate to thank you for signing up for a longer term lease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, folks, there's a lot of data out there. You got to remember that your tenants are doing things like this. This is why Hemlane is a system that works. It's why the binder strategy works so well, because to assume your tenants are not comparing what else is out there is foolish. They are. So just do it up front, understand what's going on. I like how Dion has successfully just gone to them. He obviously invests in his backyard, so he goes and sees them. He's hands-on. You don't have to be. You can do something like this as well. So Dana, if somebody wanted to play with Hemlane and take a 30-day trial, where would they go?
You can go to www.hemlane.com. And then if you want the rent estimate tool, you can go to resources.hemlane.com. We have a full academy here with the rent cycle, articles, state laws, and then tools, free downloads, as well as the rent estimate. So you'll go to this rent estimate to get that.
Awesome. Resources.hemlane.com/rent-estimator-tool, just in case you are listening on the podcast. Thanks, Dana.
Great. Thanks so much for having me, Michael.